There's some things that I've been seeing online that I really need to address to bring some balance to the conversation because some people are kind of taking certain conversations and not bringing it with balance. And I think it's very concerning in a way, attacking some of our people because they don't think exactly like you or not have arrived to the conclusions that you have arrived to as of today. And that's becoming an issue. And I think it's becoming a major issue in a way. So we need to bring some balance to that. But before I get started, with, the subject matter here, my name was put into some conversations. I don't know why y'all be trying to put my name in conversations when it comes to other people that has nothing to do with me. Because obviously you don't know how I move, or you can even ask the people that we have brought to the African continent how we move and what accommodations they stay in, etc. But they had a couple. Their YouTube channel is The Arrival, and they're an older couple, from the United States, and they decided to move to the Gambia. And what ended up happening to them is that someone, they have a home, they call them, compounds over there. And someone broke into their home. I mean, look, they used a sledgehammer or they used a jackhammer or something, probably a sledgehammer, to break in their home. And they put a hole in the wall and they were just stealing their stuff, etc. And they were saying, oh, yeah, look what happened to them. And, they say everybody making a big deal that somebody stole something from their house. Of course, being, theft is, nobody likes theft. Who wants that? Right. And, involving me, see, Phil tells us to go over there. And I'm like, first of all, I've never told anybody to go to any particular country. That's a lie. Never said go to this particular country. Me personally, just how I feel about it. I wouldn't go to the Gambia. I'll visit, but I wouldn't go live in the Gambia. I mean, because if you look at what's going on, you have to, before you go to any country, you need to travel over there many times. You need to see what the crime is like, what the economy is like, what the political structure is like. You got to see all that. You can't just go jump up on some, ooh, I got some DNA in this country, I'm going to go over there. No, you can't do that. Second of all, I have a thing about the key is when you have a second address is to be able to live a better life than what you live in the United States for cheaper. I will not tell you to go to the village. I'm not a person that's going to be promoting the village. That's not me. I'm going to be telling you to go get the biggest and baddest and flyest house you can get in the most nice area you can get. That's how I get down. In any country, even in America, let's talk about it right here in America. The best and nicest neighborhoods, what do they have? They have more security. They have more of a police presence. When you're out in a rural area, when you're not in the best of neighborhoods, they don't really have a lot of security. They don't really have a big police presence. I'm just being 100 with you. So what happens is, and I've been reading certain stories, horror stories that happen to certain Black Americans that go to the African continent, and they don't move like I move at all. They go to these villages, they go to this, they go to that, and these people don't see you as they people. And I don't understand why any of them do that. But why I'm mentioning that is some people act like Pookie and Ray Ray isn't doing home invasions and robberies and carjackings. I'm right here in Houston. Pookie and Ray Ray doing that mess every day. Please stop involving my name in conversations because y'all know how I get. I'll do Pookie and Ray Ray month. Okay, I'll do Pookie and Ray Ray month on my main channel and show you Pookie and Ray Ray robbing other Black people in their homes or stealing their cars because you acting like Pookie and Ray Ray is a saint over here and no theft happens in America. And it just when you went over there, that's when it's just a level of silliness for me. That's why I say it's getting on a level like white people. Like white people feel they so much better than everybody else. Like they ain't got no crime. Like they ain't got no terrorism, anything else that they do the worst of the worst, but they act like they're better than anybody else. Anyway, so please stop involving my name in that, because y'all don't want me to do Pookie and Ray Ray month, because y'all gonna start crying. But at one point in time, just talking about history, our brother Malcolm X, where he was called Detroit Red at one point in time. And Detroit Red wasn't Malcolm X. He wasn't that person. He was out there, hustling. Out there with white women at a time period where, shoot, you really don't want to get caught with a white woman. Not at that time period. Getting in trouble, etc. He was not the man that we know him to be. He didn't do the great speeches back when he was Detroit Red. He didn't impact the world when he was Detroit Red. At that time period, he didn't want to hear anything about changing his life, etc. His ideology was not where it needed to be while he was Detroit Red. But when he went to jail, he ended up running into Brother Baines in jail. And he started to talk with Detroit Red at the time. And as he talked with him and start dropping a lot of nuggets and a lot of seeds in Detroit Red, with time, Detroit Red started to see the truth for what it was and start to understand racism, white supremacy in that time period. And then eventually, as we know, he went from Detroit Red to Malcolm X. Now, there's a lot of people right now that I liken to a Detroit Red. They don't know anything. They just know barely minimum. They were raised with certain political ideology, in our community, white Jesus and Democrat. Or there's even people that's out there right now that's trying to, fight the good fight. Their heart really is in the right place, but they may not be where some of us are at the moment, but their heart's in the right place. It really is. But what I'm seeing is a lot of you out there, and not all, but a lot of you want to attack the person when they in the Detroit Red stage because they don't understand what you understand. They don't think like you. And you have to, and also what a lot of you have to think too. You wasn't born thinking the way you're thinking today. At one point in time, you thought people of color was a good terminology. At one point in time, you thought it was okay to be considered a minority. Now, today, you got some new knowledge, and this is recent knowledge for a lot of you too. Now you got some new knowledge. Now you're thinking, oh, shoot, that's not a good thing. And then when you hear somebody else say the term minority, you hear somebody else in our community say the term people of color or black and brown, you go into attack mode. You remember just 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you didn't take an issue with it too much. You wasn't as fervent against those terms as you are today. I can take myself from where I was at 5 years ago to today. It's like night and day in my area of my knowledge. In life, it's about growing. It's about learning. It's about expanding who you are. But also you have to give people time and even just educate people. Sometimes you got to be Brother Baines. Sometimes you got to drop them nuggets in people at the time period. They may not get everything you saying in the first conversation. But did Brother Baines get upset with Detroit Red because he didn't get it the first time? Or did Brother Baines kept educating Detroit Red, kept showing him the truth, pointing him in the right direction, and then finally he got it. And then he became way greater than Brother Baines could have ever became. You understand? But what if Brother Baines acted like some of y'all? And because Detroit Red didn't get it the first time, or his language didn't change the first time, then you want to get upset. You want to attack Detroit Red. You don't know who you attacking. You don't know that that person could become the next Malcolm X, the next Khalid Muhammad, the next whoever. You don't know who you're talking to sometimes. Sometimes people that's already out there doing something. Sometimes you may just need to be the person to drop a little nugget in their brain a little bit and just back off and let it fester. And with time, if they keep coming back to you, let you know what's going on, telling you, the truth and everything, with they seeing things to happen, and you being that teacher as you should be to help educate your people. Because education, nobody responds to attack. It'd be like in school. If you didn't understand 4 times 4 the first time, and if your teacher just straight attacked you because you didn't understand 4 times 4, you'd have shut down. You wouldn't want to learn anything because you're being attacked. Nobody wants to learn anything being attacked. We have years upon years in our community where certain ideology politically has been okay. And to switch some things up is going to take some time. It's going to take some patience, etc. Even in my position, I talk to many people of many persuasions in the black community. Do everybody agree with me? No. But I don't really want everybody to agree with me. And I don't want to be around a bunch of people that disagree with me because I'm not going to learn anything. That's going to stifle my growth. I'm going to talk to black people who agree with me. I'm going to talk to black people who are probably hardcore Democrats. And you know, I disagree with that. I'm going to talk to black folks that could be hardcore Republicans. And I don't agree with everything with Republicans either. Like, I'm going to talk to people who are Christians in the black church. I'm going to talk to black people who is Muslims. I'm going to talk to black people who is atheists or just don't have no religion at all, right? They don't hate God or nothing. They believe God exists, but they just don't go to church like that. I'm going to talk to people who's Hebrew Israelites, which I have. You know, all these different people I've talked to on my show, right? I'm going to talk to people from America. I'm going to talk to people from Latin America. I'm going to talk to people from the Caribbean, the African continent. I'm going to talk to every group of people on the face of the earth. Why? Why would I do that? It's because I understand that even to tell our story, sometimes you got to meet people where they at and just drop those nuggets, even if they disagree with me on some tactics. Even in media, you can't, and this is the reason why some people will expand in certain places and others won't. You can't attack everybody either. Because let's say if I interview a person, I just go attack them. Then I'm going to get a reputation of, well, if I go on Phil's show, they're going to attack me. An interview or whatever that you're doing is not based on me. I don't need, to be talking over anybody in the interview. I really don't. It's about that person. Let that person respond, etc. Right? But just because a person, you don't agree with a person doesn't mean you should, like you say, throw out the baby with the bathwater. That's not how it should be. If you're not willing to educate the Detroit Reds in your area, right? Or in your family, if you're not willing just to drop those nuggets, it's not for you to convert people to what you're thinking right then and there. Because what happens is some of you done got some new knowledge and you kind of on this attack mode with it. And that's not right. And that's actually wrong. You should be using the new knowledge to educate your people much as possible. Educate them. Now, some people are ignorant with certain things. And when they get to a point that they aren't teachable, they aren't receiving anything, or they're literally just attacking and standing in the way of progress. Okay, there's a certain response for that. I get that part. But don't take the response to people that just want to stand in the way of progress and want to hunker down in certain things and then spreading that same attack to people that just need to learn. That's why I love younger people a lot of times, because younger people are easier to teach. Younger people are more receptive at times if they have respect for you to learn some things and then see some things with time, versus sometimes people that's older and stuck in their ways. But then, some people that's older sometimes will say, you know what? Yeah, I've been seeing that for a long time. Man, I get what you say. You know how many times people have came to me and say, Brother Phil, 2 years ago, man, when you was saying this sort of thing, man, I ain't agree with that at all. But now, I finally understood what you was talking about, man. It took me 2 years to see it. It's so many people have come to me, have said that over the years. And I don't even know who these people are, but they said, man, I appreciate you saying that at the time, even though I didn't want to hear it, because you were actually right. It stuck with me all those years, even though I was mad at you for what you said. So we can't throw away people when they're in the Detroit Red stage, because you don't know when they're going to go possibly into the Malcolm X stage. You have to understand that, folks. You have to understand that. Everybody don't know what you know. Everybody don't know what I know. If I was to act like y'all and some of y'all like that, I would be pissed off at probably the majority, because there's a lot of people that don't know the things I know all the way around. But how many years it took me to learn? And I'm still learning to this day. I'm still learning by living life. making mistakes, etc. We have to have patience with our people. We have to learn that it is a learning curve. We have to know that we wasn't taught anything in public school. Our people were just, trying to survive. So there's a lot in the world we don't even know. We still learning. So we got to have patience with black people. Even if black people are hardcore Democrats, you got to have patience with them. You have to show them why certain things don't work. You just have to show them better than just screaming at them and telling them, hey, that don't work, that don't work, that don't work. Well, no, show them why. Actually show them why certain things have not worked. Do just and go back with history and show, hey, wait a minute. This is something that has not been working for us. You understand? Show people the deal and let people make their own decision. I see some people so focused on Pan-Africanism and attacking that it's like it's more attack on Pan-Africanism than white supremacy to me. I don't understand with that. Now, that's a problem for me. Is that white supremacy is the focus. White supremacy is the one that's gentrifying our neighborhoods. White supremacy is the one that's allowing all these immigrants to come into America and just, do the things that they're doing. Okay. White supremacy. White supremacy is the one that owes reparations. I don't understand the conversation about Pan-Africanism, just beyond with you, because Pan-Africanism ain't doing crap. Matter of fact, Pan-Africanism is an ideology. It isn't codified law. It isn't public policy. It isn't anything. You can't say Pan-Africanism is gentrifying black people out of their neighborhoods. You can't say Pan-Africanism is the one that's causing the police to be killing black folk. White supremacy is, but not Pan-Africanism. So I don't understand the focus on Pan-Africanism. In my opinion, just my small opinion, it's like it's easier to attack Pan-Africanism than it is white supremacy. Because to me, white supremacy is the evil. White supremacy is the devil. That them folks, they made a covenant with the devil to have white supremacy. That's the focus. Let's call it what it is. People can have that ideology all day long. And I've told y'all, and so many times, that black folks that do travel, they don't even travel on no Pan-Africanism. They're traveling because that's just what they want to do. People don't even talk about that. You go to ask the average person in America, what is Pan-Africanism? Most of them don't even know what that is. They'll say, what is Pan-Africanism? I never heard of that. Most of them have never heard of it. But they know about traveling. They know they've seen travel channels. They see black people, being expats and all of that. They know that. I just think that the Pan-Africanism arguments, I think it's just a waste of energy and waste of time, is that we need to be focusing on white supremacy and what's happening. Well, what's going on? I mean, yes, we could check black immigrants all day long. That's fine. No problem. I'm with it. I check them too. You better believe I'm going to check a black immigrant to get out of line. But I just don't think we should be focusing our attention so much on Pan-Africanism, which is an ideology, and it isn't codified law that's harming black American people here or even throughout the world. White supremacy is even affecting black folks in other countries too. It's not just affecting us, right? But even if someone believes in Pan-Africanism, why are you attacking them? That's what they believe in. That's their ideology. Okay, cool. They can't make you go nowhere. They can't make you not even step foot out your house, no matter what they believe in or whatever. Also, I've said the same thing. I don't even understand if you don't believe in Pan-Africanism, which is an ideology, why are you even going to channels and arguing with people who are hardcore Pan-Africanists? I don't understand. I've seen that too many times on YouTube. Like, why are y'all going over there arguing with people who believe in Pan-Africanism? That's not your cup of tea. I don't get it. I don't go to white supremacist channels and arguing with them all day. It's a waste of my time. That's not who I'm going to talk to. That's not even my audience. White supremacists will come talk to me before I come talk to them. I'm just saying it's so much energy going on, and the energy should be focused on racism, white supremacy. That's where the laser focus should be. The focus should be making sure black America is good, keeping that energy there, making sure the Democrats are doing what they're supposed to do if black folks going to vote for them. And if not, then don't vote for them and sit it out or protest vote, whatever you choose to do. But we got this energy going everywhere else. And then the energy is getting some of it's getting so ridiculous that if you start bringing fact to it and you start shining a light on something like, say, the situation of the brothers and sisters in the Gambia that have that robbery happen, like I said before, you act like Pookie and Ray Ray ain't robbing and shooting and killing over here in America. Come on now. Don't act like ignorant white folk who's racist, who say America's the best, America, 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 and we supposed to be a first world country, and we got people living in third world conditions right here in the doggone United States of America. Come on, y'all. We gotta think better than that. We gotta move better than that. The focus is white supremacy. That's the focus. That's the people who owe us reparations. That's the people who sponsor terrorism against the black American people. It's them. If we focus our energy on white supremacy and making sure black America is good and do whatever we think we need to do to see the end of white supremacy, then we will actually get somewhere. But I just my opinion, these diaspora wars, I just think it's a waste of time. I'm not saying not to address certain things. I'm not saying that. But the white supremacists love the diaspora wars because you're not keeping your focus on him. So while you're fighting the diaspora wars, the white supremacists are right behind your back doing all kind of things. When you're fighting each other, like they say, when you fight each other, the white man just go and steal the spoils and take the land from you while you're fighting each other. And that's exactly what he liking now. Just like I did the video the other day with the white man that was in the South African army saying how they was purposely causing tribal beefs against, for black people, just so the black folks wouldn't get together and go against them. It's the same thing. You think they not involved with keeping the diaspora wars going? You think they ain't got certain Negroes they let over here to keep the beef going? You think they got so many government trolls online that's posting things to y'all behind screens with maybe certain names, and y'all say, oh, they're an immigrant, and then get y'all fighting. Y'all talking about reparations, and then y'all get distracted with a diaspora war. Have you noticed that? That the more you talk about reparations, the more a diaspora war is happening. That is done by design. Y'all ain't figured that out? You have not figured that part out. I know white supremacy. They're good at trying to distract Negroes. And it's the same thing which y'all been working for thousands of years already, is that they get y'all to fight each other and keep your eyes off of them. Keep that energy up for reparations and fighting for black America. The diaspora war thing, I mean, hey, to be honest with you, a lot of these people, those immigrants just want attention because they don't get attention. They get so excited if they get any kind of attention. They win a Grammy Award. Oh, my God, they fall apart. They win an Emmy Award. Lord, that's how many things have we done won? How many achievements that black America have made? You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of them, unfortunately, act like children that just got some attention. And some of y'all get mad when they act like that. Like, we've gotten thousands of awards, thousands of accolades. We opened up schools, institutions, businesses. We've done so many things that they just getting excited about. And they're like, oh, look at us, look at us, look at us. We've done that 10 times, 1,000 over. We need to be focusing on white supremacy. And if you feel that, travel is not for you, if you feel that having a second address isn't for you, and you want to put all your lot in America, you have every right to do that. It is your life, and you choose that. But don't attack other black people because they choose to do something else, or they may not have your ideology as of right now. Because I'm a firm believer of, you don't have to fully agree with me, but can we both agree on the main thing? Can we both agree white supremacy is the greatest threat to black people? If we all can agree on that and all move on that, then I'm good. Now, when you start having kind of ideology where you kind of soft on them folks, I can't fool with you on that. When I see you got some little leanings to them, that means you can't fully dedicate. But all the other stuff you're not going to agree with. You're not with everybody. And that's what maturity and even nation building come in, because you say we had a black people had their own nation, right? Everybody wouldn't agree with you in that, even in that. Nobody's the same. But can we keep the main thing the main thing? You think white folks agree with everything? No, but they all agree that white supremacy must be maintained. And white folks know how to put aside their intertribal beefs too. They know how to do it. To have a NATO and something like that. And that's the same thing that black folks need to do. I always say that, listen, find the on-code brothers and sisters no matter where they at, where they from. And the rest of them that don't want to be, they do have to stay out the way. They either have to get some knowledge to come up to where we're at, or they're going to have to just stay by the wayside. That's just the way it is. We don't have time. We don't have time, to be dealing with certain people because, that's another thing. Y'all talk about immigrants and different ones that's off code, and yes, they are. Some of them are. But we got a lot of people within our community that's off code too. And they should know better because they've been living in Babylon. They should know better. All black folks should be on code, all of them. But a lot of them aren't. So what do we say about the off code black American people? What do we say about them who should know better by now? You understand? So it's a lot of work to do. Just don't get into that white man thinking like, oh, I'm so much better. That's the same thing the immigrants are doing. Well, we're better. Like nobody's better than nobody, bruh. Everybody put their pants on one leg at a time. Yeah, one thing that we need to keep out is thinking that we're better. Like I said, I think that's very dangerous. It's extremely dangerous when you think you're better than other people within your own community. No one's better than anybody because that's how the tribal wars start and all that. Oh, I'm better than them. So let me do this to them. I'm better than them. So I can care less what happened. I'm better. You ain't better than crap. If you breathe in oxygen, you ain't better. And that's just bottom line. Let me know when you don't have to breathe oxygen anymore and you have ascended that, then okay, we can have a different conversation. But until then, no, you're not better. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us, on the podcast. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. That way you know exactly when we post another podcast, or click the follow button on Spotify. You listen to us there. Make sure you click the like button as well on YouTube. It's greatly important. And if you enjoy the show, consider, donating to our show. I greatly appreciate it. We appreciate you coming by and see you on the next one.